Initiation schools are expected to reopen in December. The schools were closed amid the COVID-19 outbreak. The Congress of Traditional Leaders, CRL, says it will monitor initiation schools to ensure they follow COVID-19 protocols. To discuss this further, I'm joined by David Mosoma from the CRL Commission. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Mosoma. So there was this period when there was no, possibility to undertake some of the activities of customary initiation schools, and we are told now that CRL has given those schools the all clear for December. What are some of the key considerations in as far as that reopening of initiation schools is concerned for later on this year?
I think what is important is to follow in the strictest form the COVID-19 regulations. I think that is the testament for each and every person, including the traditional leaders, provincial governments, who are also responsible in terms of registration and accreditation of initiation schools with the traditional leaders. And that, I think, for us is very, very important. But the second thing is the provision of land, where the set-aside land where these initiation schools are going to take place, the provision of water, and of course, in some instances, assistance with food where possible. But more importantly, to make sure that no child gets to the school without the permission of the parents, to make sure that children have to have first a health examination to determine their status of health before they join the initiation schools, and to make sure that kids who go there come back alive. I think that is the underlying message. Come back alive, not come back as corpses, and which is the concern of women who have carried these children for 9 months and lose them when they are 18 years old or 19 years old. And our responsibility as CRL is to ensure the protection and the promotion of this age-old cultural rights. But the real downside of it is that we should not experience a loss of death. And the commitment of the traditional leaders, the CRL, is to keep their word. And we will look forward to ensuring that the reports that will come out of this really vindicate that this culture is there to save lives.
But what's your sense, Mr. Mosoma, can that be done, the adherence to the strict protocols around COVID-19? The list of factors that you're saying must be taken into consideration that you just gave me now includes issues around water, and we know all about the importance of hygiene in as far as, averting and sort of curbing the spread of the virus in various settings. You mentioned land. I imagine that this talks to issues of spacing, that people should have enough space to be able to do all that they need to do without necessarily being in each other's space that much. And also you talk about issues like health examination, and the fact that you list these says to me these are not currently in place. And then I wonder to what extent is it possible then to adhere to protocols when the problems you just listed still persist?
I am not so sure. I cannot speak with definitely that these things that I have mentioned are not taking place. I think we are trying to raise these issues for the leaders, CRL, National House of Traditional Leaders, to be aware of this. And I think we await a report which will indicate that these rules and the protocols have been observed. Because if not, of course, government will have to take a full swing in terms of calling the leaders to account. And I think the commitment of the leaders is an indication that they, too, are wanting to take accountability for this. They are carrying responsibility for this. So until they have shown not to do that, then we can begin to talk about the issues. For now, we are saying these are the things that must pay attention to going forward.
So what role do you see for yourselves as the CRL Commission around proactively ensuring that these traditional leaders and other role players in traditional initiation actually keep to their word, and this age-old practice practiced by many communities within South Africa is preserved, while at the same time the lives of these young men are also preserved?
We work hand in glove with the traditional leaders, with Contralesa. We work hand in glove with the law enforcement agencies. We are part of the community councils in different parts of the country. So we're able to, at any given time, to know what is actually happening. There are provincial structures that are responsible, task teams that are responsible in doing this. And what we're going to do is to monitor that these things are actually taking place, that at the end we're able to deliver a death-free initiation schools throughout the country.
All right, thank you for that. Thank you for your insights there. That's David Mosoma from the CRL Rights Commission talking to us about the planned reopening of initiation schools. Interestingly, there's also a bill that's actually before Parliament right at the moment that has to do with, it's called the Customary Initiation Bill, and it's generating quite a fair amount of debate, and I think in future we will invite Mr. David Mosoma back to actually weigh in on that particular bill. Among the key proposals that are in that bill is what is known as the NIOC, that is the National Initiation Oversight Committee. This is a committee that will exercise oversight, and then we'll have provincial committees as well, and women will be included in terms of this bill, in terms of these oversight committees. It also talks about ensuring that no child, no boy who's under 16 years of age actually goes through this process of initiation. And so that's the bill that's before Parliament, and I think it's before the National Council of Provinces as one of the steps that it has to pass before it becomes law. So we'll be watching that very closely and a site for more conversations in the future.